Evacuation public service announcement. Palestine, Pennsylvania. Again, evacuation public service announcement. Palestine, Pennsylvania.
We are at a risk now of a catastrophic failure of that container. Measures are being taken to try and control that and prevent that from happening.
Breaking this morning, authorities telling Pittsburgh's Action News 4 the situation at the site of this train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio is now worsening and that an explosion is likely imminent. Right now, a mandatory evacuation order is in effect for anyone living within 1 mile of that scene. And we want to underscore here that that includes part of Darlington Township in Beaver County.
Such a serious situation. Pittsburgh's Action News 4 reporter Tori Yorgi is live in East Palestine with the big change prompting this mandatory order. Tori.
Yeah, good morning to you, Michelle, Ryan. And it's a very eerie feeling here in East Palestine. You know, I know it's 5 in the morning, but there's no lights on in a lot of these houses because we're outside of that 1 mile radius. But also, too, you know, the roads are blocked. If you can see behind me here, almost every road you come up on in the town has a state trooper there waiting to guide you in the right direction. Now, that urgent evacuation notice issued by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine and Columbiana County officials saying there is a potential for an explosion due to a drastic temperature change within one of the rail cars that derailed. Now, if an explosion does happen, they're worried that it'll send shrapnel flying within a 1 mile radius that could be deadly, they say. And you can see here on your screen now that radius of the evacuation zone. We're told at last check still more than 500 people within that 1 mile radius have declined to leave their homes. And we do know Darlington Township is within that. Now, we talked with the fire chief about the situation. He says officials are working to do everything they can to avoid this. Listen in.
At some point in the near future to extend our mile radius out based on their professional recommendations and the models that they run.
Again, about 50 Norfolk Southern rail cars derailed from the tracks Friday night, really skyrocketing flames into the air. Some officials say those rail cars contain vinyl chloride, which is one of their concerns. At this point, again, we do know teams are monitoring the situation there, and I can tell you I've been seeing Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers going around to the houses within that 1 mile radius with their flashlights trying to get people to leave. They tell me there are still some people in their homes this morning. Live this morning from East Palestine, Ohio, I'm Tori Yorgi for Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
If you have to come to East Palestine, don't.
Residents, if you have not evacuated, please leave the area.
We are following breaking news as we come on the air this morning. A train derailment forces hundreds from their home in Ohio. This is a view from our Sky Eye 2 drone showing those flames shooting into the air. Fire departments from 3 states, including Pennsylvania, are all actively working to get this massive fire under control. This is happening in East Palestine, Ohio, which borders the Pennsylvania line into Beaver County. Our Krista Rose is on the ground for us in Ohio with the still developing details. And Chris, officials there just wrapped up a press conference a few minutes ago.
Erica, yeah, good morning. We are in the municipal building here in East Palestine where press conference just wrapped up to give us a little more information about this train derailment and the ongoing fire that is still happening. Really, the biggest update for you is that we reported earlier that there was a voluntary evacuation for residents in a 1 mile radius around this blaze, but actually that is a mandatory evacuation. And at this point, the officials are saying if residents haven't gotten out to basically just shelter in place, stay off the roads, allow for emergency responders to move to and from the fire. Now, speaking of that, emergency responders have actually pulled back from the fire because they just can't get a read now in the darkness on exactly what cars from this train derailment are burning. Roughly 50 cars were involved in this train derailment, and there were some hazardous materials on the car, in some of the cars, but they are not exactly sure what cars are exactly burning. So they are urging people to stay out of the area and allow crews the time to work and clean up. Now, there are, I mentioned that evacuation, there are shelters that folks can go to at the junior and senior high school, and they're also hopefully opening a family assistance center in the next few hours or days. We don't yet know what caused this train derailment. Crews are working to learn that, but what we do know is that there are crews here fighting the flames from both Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. And of course, we're going to keep you up to date both on air and online with more information as it becomes available to us. There will be another press briefing this afternoon at 1:30 p.m. That'll be here in the municipal building. But for now, in East Palatine, Krista Rose, KDKA News.